Hey guys, Sandy here, and welcome to another episode of Oh So Inspired. This is for June 2019. Now, I am using my KillaKit with Style kit for this video today. I have a whole bunch of it right now. I've only created a couple layouts with this kit. And then our inspiration piece is from Paper Craft Scissors. And it's a One Sheet Wonder mini album. Now, I am not going to make a mini album. You'll be able to click on the link down below. But what really inspired me were these blocks, these rectangle blocks. So I'm going to use that as my background for my layout. So let's see what I can do. All right, so I've gone and picked out my papers. Now I have some 6x6 papers. I also have a 12x12 sheet of paper and then this long scrap. And the only thing I'm doing is cutting them down to 3 inches. So what that's going to do is allow me to build my rectangles on top of this page. And like I said, the pattern paper on top of the solid background was what really inspired me from this piece. It wasn't necessarily making it a flip album, although I really do hope some of the other ladies make a flip album because I would love to see that being made. So as you can see, if I'm doing 3-inch rectangles across, that means that one of my rectangles is going to be smaller. And that is okay with me because what I'm going to do with the layout is make a large title down one side of it. So it's going to give it balance, and you're not even really going to notice that the one rectangle is not 3 inches wide. And I'm just like trying to figure out where I want these to go. I am eyeballing it, so I'm not like making sure that all of the black space around the rectangles are all the same. I'm just kind of making it look good. Hopefully you think it looks good too. So I do have to trim off areas, and this is where I just make a little mark with a pen on the opposite side and trim it up really quickly. Now, I have to say, I really like the color combination that's going on here. So this is my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for the month of June, and it is based on Amy Tangerine's Shine On collection. And that collection has grays and blacks and whites and teals and pinks, and then it gives you like these couple of bright little pops. Like there's a bright yellow, and there's kind of like a corally orange, and they're a little unexpected. Like you could go black and white and very monochromatic and maybe just a little pop of color, or you could do all kinds of things with it. And I decided that for the most part, this layout was going to have that feeling. See, lots of black and white, pink, I got a touch of gold, the gray, and then I add these trees in, and then that's going to be like my kind of woo pop. So since my papers, most of them that I'm using here, were 6x6, if I just use them that way, then I would have very evenly spaced blocks of color here. And I didn't want such evenly spaced blocks of color. But what I'm doing is figuring out what other little piece I'm going to bring back in. And then I'm going to rearrange it a little bit and just change it up ever so slightly, guys. Just ever so slightly. Not a huge amount. So see, I'm going to bring the trees up when originally they were going to be on the bottom. And then I've got multiple spaces where the gray is, and then I have multiple spaces where the pink is, and then I'm just really happy with that wood grain down the left-hand side there. And already you can, when you look at this, you can see that the rectangle block on the right-hand side is definitely skinnier than the left-hand side. And like I said, totally okay with that. So I'm going to accentuate that little pop of yellow that's over there in those trees by matting my photo. And because of the contrast of the photo in that bright, bright yellow, I think it really makes the photo stand out even more. So the photo is, I was driving home from work and the clouds were just billowing and they were gray, and I just thought that the way this one tree was just kind of, when you looked over and that one tree was just kind of poking up and the clouds were in the background, like it was gorgeous. And the photo is not like the best photo. I snapped it as I was driving, so I could have pulled over to the side of the road and taken a photo, and I have done that in the past, but did not do it this time. Anyway, I just really like how the contrast of that goes. Now, these lovely little things here are from Love from Lizzie, and it is a card kit from England. Now, these are called peel-offs, and they just add a little bit of a finished edge to your project. There are straight peel-offs, and there are also these little wavy guys here. And I just decided that I needed to bring in the yellow over here on the left-hand side as well. I had the pops of yellow over there with the trees, and now I have the yellow surrounding my photo, but I really needed to bring it over here. And most of the times, yellow and gold kind of read the same, but I feel like because this yellow is so bright, I needed to bring that brightness over. So I'm just going around the edges of this wood grain paper. And like I said, it is a very subtle, it's just a little finishing touch. And had I not put this in here, I mean, would it have mattered that much? Maybe not, but it is the little things on my pages that make me happy. Just those little extra bits that maybe you might not have originally thought of, or it's just taking up a little bit of extra time to get it done. And those are the things that I really enjoy about scrapbooking, is those little extra touches. So while I am getting these peel-offs onto the paper, please make sure that you're checking out everybody's creations for this Oh So Inspired month. The links will be down below. You can hop along and just go from one to the other. The creations and the videos are all varying, which is what makes Oh So Inspired so fun. We have people who just share what they make. We have people who do process videos. We have people who make something that's very similar to the inspiration piece. We have people that kind of just grab one little thing off the inspiration piece and it inspires them and they create something. And then it's just a lot of fun. So please go ahead and check them out. Now, I knew that I was going to make a long title with lots of different elements. Now, back in the day, when I scrapbooked a long time ago, I used to do these kind of titles a lot. I just thought that they were a lot of fun, where it was a phrase title and it took up a good amount of real estate on the page. And they were just fun for me to do. So I know that I'm going to be doing that. I know that there's going to be some sort of long title, and it's going to be something about how the day doesn't have to be bright and shiny. Something about that. Like, that is what is going on in my mind. And I'm thinking I'm like this Seriously banner, and I'm going to make that happen. Now, I don't end up using the Seriously banner. I end up using a Seriously sticker because the banner is a little bit large. So I'm just going through my die cuts and really just trying to figure out what is going to go on. So I have this little Project Life flip book of cards. Got that on clearance at Hobby Lobby, so hooray. And I'm like, ooh, be happy. I can use that somehow in my title. Like, while I'm creating this layout and I'm working on through it, I'm kind of working the title out in my head. And I'm like, smile, that can work too. And I'm just pulling out these words because I know that something's happening in this head of mine. It's gonna happen. Now, this is the sticker book. And the sticker book, it also is in my Kill a Kit with Style. I actually have two of these now. I bought the sticker book, and then I got the sticker book in my kit. So, my card kit from Love from Lizzie. I decided that I really didn't need these horizontal lines, and I was just going to cut out the Be Happy. And that worked for me because it is gold, and it's going to go with the page. And then I think that I can get the smile and the Be Happy to kind of like merge together.
and figure out something like be happy and smile. You know, it's working in my head. I've got words in my head, and that's why what I'm doing here with my finger, I'm like trying to figure out what I'm going to say and where it's going to go. Now I went ahead and cut out a whole bunch of me going through my stash. I did not have enough of the like that corally orange color in the kit itself, and I felt like I needed to bring some out. So I have this little chipboard piece here. I found this ampersand that you see down there. I actually trimmed off a little bit of the curlicue off the ampersand. It was way big. And as you can see, I found my little seriously sticker, and I also have this little orange arrow bit that says sun, but I'm not going to end up with that part of the sun. So I know my title is going to be something about the sun doesn't have to shine for me to be happy and smile. I do have this flare badge that has sun on it, and it is yellow and orange, so that works. I was trying to bring in this sticker that said sun as well, just for the color, not necessarily to have the word sun again on the page, but it didn't make it. So I'm trying to still figure this out in my mind. I'm still looking for words. Now I'm thinking, like, where can I find these words? So I'm off to the side looking for words, and I really don't find words. So I pull out some letter stickers, and these letter stickers are all from Freckled Fawn. I actually just learned that Freckled Fawn has a kit subscription again each month, which I haven't even looked into, so I couldn't say if I would recommend it or not. But these yellow stickers match great, and then those golden white stickers also were from Freckled Fawn. So I have the sun, seriously, the sunshine for me to be happy and smile. So I know that I need some more letters, guys. Like, I need more words. And it's not going to be these yellow ones. I just don't have enough of the letters to make that happen. And then I really like how the smile kind of tucks right around that circle that says be happy. And then I'm thinking maybe I don't want seriously to be at the top. Maybe I want it to be at the bottom. So it's more of a, yeah, the sun doesn't have to shine for me to be happy. Seriously. Or is it a seriously, the sun doesn't shine. The sun doesn't have to shine for me to be happy. I don't know. These are the kind of things that go on in my head when I'm doing these long, like, multiple font titles. Like, how is somebody going to read this? Are they going to be like, seriously? Or are they going to be like, seriously? But whatever. Anyway. These little puffy things, I tried to bring that in because I wanted some of that corally orange color down there at the bottom where I have my die cut kind of hugging the photo. And then I thought, well, maybe I'd put it here. And I spent all this time like arranging it and making sure it's gonna fit, and then I just don't like it and it comes off the layout. Now I have used these little puffy things on other pages, so it's not a matter of I don't like know how to use it on the page or I don't like the way it looks on the page. It's basically it just didn't work for me on this particular layout. And that's okay. So, yep, and then I'm like, yep, it's going down here. And not only was it the way that I was reading it in my mind when I was reading the title, it's also that it bridges the gap just a little bit more between the first and the second columns of blocks. So I am going to finally add some adhesive to that little die cut and stick it down. And then I'm going to just grab a little bit more of my foam because it's kind of teetering and I don't need it to teeter. So we're just going to pop that up a little bit just to give it a little bit more rigidity. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I better finally adhere this as well. And I'm like, that's looking good. And the more that I'm doing to this page and the more that you have this weight over here with the title, you don't necessarily notice that that fourth column is a little bit thinner than the other columns. Now, you can definitely, if you're looking at this, like, like if I'm just glancing at my layout, I don't notice it. But if I'm really like studying it and looking at it, then yeah, of course you're gonna see it. So I found these little letter stickers from Jelly Bean Soup, and they are small enough that I'm going to be able to fit that large portion of the phrase here, and it's not going to take up a whole ton of space. So the sun does not have to shine, and I didn't have any apostrophes, so I wrote does not. So does not have to shine. That's a lot of letters. So I went with these little guys here, and they are gray, which is perfect because I definitely have gray going on in the layout. So the sun doesn't have to shine for me to be happy and smile. And then I know I need it to add just a little bit of journaling just to tell why this photo is here. And then I have these little gold like half bead things. I don't even remember where they came from, but I thought that they would be kind of perfect to just scatter around the page. Even though my title has a lot of like different kind of fonts and things, it's the page is still feeling a little flat to me. And adding something like an enamel dot or these little half beads kind of brings the page to life. So not only is it the finishing touch with a little bit of color and a little bit of like accent that way, it also lifts the page for me so that when I see this, before these little dots were on here, it felt very flat. As soon as I put the dots on there, it was an immediate feel of lifting up off the page. And I love me some cork, guys, and I love this brown color. So I felt like I needed a little bit more of the color, kind of that brownish color, because I've got the wood grain and I've got the khaki color, not khaki, I do this all the time, the craft colored pieces, and I felt like I needed a little bit more. So the and up here in the cork speech bubble worked perfectly. So I figured out where my little gold bits are going to go, and then I have some little cork flowers as well, and I'm just going to sprinkle those about the page too, because like I said, I'm just kind of making the colors and everything cohesive. So I thought about pulling that pink banner off, but I really felt like that little pop of color needed to be there, so it went right back on the page. And then I have some of these little teeny hearts as well. And basically, guys, I'm just adding more at this point because sometimes more is more. And this layout definitely felt like it needed to be a more kind of layout. Now I'm using my favorite liquid glue of all time. It's pretty amazing. I have never been able to use a liquid glue for the duration. I always end up getting sick of it and stopping. But this glue I'm using a lot, and I can actually see that I'm using it, meaning the glue is going down in the bottle. And that's super exciting because when you find something that you love and you actually use it, that's just awesome. So that's kind of my philosophy with like my scrapbooking supplies, is like, if you love it, use it. So it's kind of turning into that kind of philosophy with not only the consumables like paper and embellishments and stuff like that, but consumable tools like glue and that kind of stuff. So find what you love and do it. Now I'm just going to write a line or two of journaling here on this. Basically, it says something about how I'm driving home from work, and then it gives the date. Not a whole lot. The huge title is giving what I really needed to say about the layout. And then this is just giving you kind of like the details of what this photo even is. So I am going to just go ahead and slap some adhesive on that bad boy and tuck it underneath of the photo. And again, that's just bridging the gap between a couple of the columns. So somehow all of the columns are bridged with one other column, which makes me happy. Thanks so much, guys.